You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. This weekend, the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra opens their 2021-2022 season with the first of the main stage shows. Welcome Back takes a look at music of the past and a glimpse into the future. And to tell us a bit more about it, I'm joined by WJO Artistic Director, Dr. Richard Gillis. Hello, Richard. Welcome back to Classic 107.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Well, it's great to have you here, and welcome back to the WJO. You must be so thrilled to have the big band back together again.
I'll be thrilled once we get on stage and the music starts playing. Right now, it's just getting things ready and making sure the musicians all know, where to be and get them the music and make sure I'm ready with the music. There's just a lot of details. So, you don't think of it much. All these things that go on ahead of time. It's sort of like the old saying that, you know, the musicians get paid for the moving their equipment and for all the logistics of getting there, and they play for free. Right?
ain't that the truth?
So
Yeah, but I mean, nonetheless, like you say, there's so much work that goes into this. And I was going to say, speaking of work, just before we get talking about the show, it's not like you and the WJO haven't been busy this last year and a half. There were online concerts and workshops and all sorts of resources that were uploaded to the website, like charts and instructional videos. But this is the first in-person big band show. So can you tell us a little bit more about Welcome Back?
oh well, welcome back was a great suggestion from one of our trumpet players, Shane Hicks, as far as a title. We were trying to think. There was There was another possibility of doing a show that we were going to call Soul Vaccination, which would have been appropriate too. But we had to put that one off. Yeah, so we're just sort of playing. You know, the question was, well, what should we play? What should we begin with? And sometimes things fall into place. Well, they almost always fall into place. This will focus. Well, we're going to play one piece from the first piece that we ever played 24 years ago. Maybe I should have saved it to next year, but I thought, well, this is coming back in a different sort of a way. We're going to play a piece by Rob McConnell, a caro, an arrangement of Horace Silvertune. So that was the first tune that WJO ever played. Then we're going to play a few things that we've been working on over the last year and a half. Some pieces that were written in the last year and a half or posted in the last year and a half. We also want to play a couple of songs, and this just came up very recently. Leanne Fournier passed away, and Leanne was a great vocalist, and she sang with the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra at least 2 times. She recorded with the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra. So we're going to play one of her pieces and one of her arrangements. So we thought we would just show what we've been doing, keeping
Well,
busy at.
yeah, I was going to say it sounds like you're doing exactly that. And I mean, you mentioned it's a welcome back show, not just a welcome back for the audience, but also for the musicians too. And it's funny now that things are slowly starting to and cautiously starting to reemerge. I find I've done this a lot with friends. You kind of reminisce, you think back, when's the last time we got together? But I think what's interesting about this show is it's going even further back in time, right? To that very first time the WJO performed back in 1997. I mean, I'm curious, just before we talk a little bit more about the other music on the program, what do you remember about that first show?
Well, I guess like today, a lot goes on behind the scenes. So sometimes I know that I would put together shows, and I was busy before the show. I was busy during the intermission. I was busy after the show, because there's just so many things to take care of. But I do remember. I certainly remember this. The venue, the West End Cultural Center at that time. I remember the audience, the excitement. It was
Yeah,
just fun to play,
yeah.
and the audience. It was just a unique thing because we hadn't had that sort of thing in Winnipeg, and just the excitement of it. I remember being on stage playing with the group. Um, just just how fun it was to play with people that could really play.
And I think that excitement is back, right? Especially for audience members because it's been so long since they could take in a big band show. And I'm sure that electric energy will be there once again. One more question. How many of the original players are still in the band today? Do you know, like a rough number?
Yeah, Probably, probably only about five.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, the
You know,
players are still there.
let's say on the yeah on the very first show, there's probably four or five,
Yeah.
um, and then soon, Gilles Fournier, for example, I don't think played the first show, but he was by the third season he was pretty regular, and that's true with several other players.
Mhm.
So yeah, that first show there's probably just four of us out of the, let's say, 17.
Wow. But hey, you're still doing it, and that's so fantastic. And I mean, we're talking about music of the past, and then also as you mentioned, I mean, this concert offering us a little glimpse into the very near future. Up on the website, the winnipegjazzorchestra.com, I was reading about this new project, a little bit about it. Voices a Musical Heritage. Can you tell us a little bit more about what this project's about?
Well, it started with we wanted to do some recording projects, and Canada Council, you know, does that, and we began to apply for collaborations of different sorts. And we just did a recording, which has just been released with David Braid and Philip Cote,
Hmm.
Twisting Ways, which was just fantastic. It was just an amazing project, and so it's been getting us to thinking about other kinds of ideas. The second idea that I had was to have something that reflected the I guess I was partly thinking around Manitoba's um, anniversary, and I was thinking that what could we do with that? And one of the ideas was, why not take the different communities in Manitoba and write some music that's influenced by that. So we started with a commission from John Stetch, who's done a lot of crossover music, and he's done things where he's taken his Ukrainian heritage
Hmm.
and kind of written it into his music. So we got a Canada Council grant for that, and it was also expanded into commissioning a few others to get, Jeff Preslav, some Jewish heritage, some Jewish music. Myself, Icelandic. I wrote a piece that takes some Icelandic elements and into the music. Rodrigo Munoz with Chilean.
Hmm.
He did a piece for us. Um, and we've got a piece from Andrew Belfour, which is going to be great, and Michelle Gregoire. And we may expand it a little bit further from that as well. So it's a project that's not a complete project, and maybe there'll be a volume two, because um, there's so many different voices in Winnipeg, in Manitoba, and more all the time. It's an exciting time artistically.
Yeah, it most certainly is, and like you say, just an aptly titled project. To the point, Voices, a Musical Heritage, exploring the Manitoba heritage, and the WJO doing that in a unique way, I am sure. It sounds like it is going to be a fantastic return to live performance. Richard, welcome back. The WJO, that's coming up this Sunday, October 24th, 2 p.m. at SOPAC, the Seven Oaks Performing Arts Center. That's on Jefferson, 711 Jefferson, part of Garden City. Richard, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
It was a pleasure.